Hello, my beautiful community. This is Ashen here. Why are you feeling lost? First of all, let's talk about what being lost looks or feels like so we can get a feel for what we're really talking about here. And I do want to say that most people on this planet today feel lost in some degree or another. And it's kind of this feeling of I need to get to some kind of goal or end game, but I'm not currently satisfied. I don't know where to go next. Feeling lost is the experience of feeling like life maybe feeling pointless, feeling demotivated or unpassionate for life, feeling like life is just not happening in a way that is worthwhile for you to get up every day and give life your all, and feeling that sense of separation or disconnection from life, and just overall really feeling like life is not going your way and you don't know how to make it go your way. So let's talk about what the opposite would look like that we really need to use as our solution or our remedy for being lost. Joy, passion, and purpose are the missing ingredients and the missing experience inherent in feeling lost in your life. And it is not about an end game or any major goal. It is about being present in a sense of purpose, passion, and joy exactly as you are from wherever you are in this current moment in time. Here is the thing. When we feel lost in our life and we're not connected to our sense of passion, joy, and purpose, it is all about our experience in the present moment and in the everyday moments and the everyday experiences of our life. So, for example, we have two people walking on a path in nature. One person is walking down that path and they are totally consumed by the events that have happened the last week, and they're feeling overwhelmed and they're feeling just overall consumed by these past events. Even though they are not currently surrounded by these past events, they are surrounded by nature and they are surrounded by this path. This person cross paths with a person who is on the same path at the same time of day, who is having a paradigm or a reality where they are absorbing the vitamin D and the sunlight into their skin, they're hearing the birds chirping, they're feeling the wind and they're breathing it in, they're seeing the trees and they're feeling just their hormones rushing and just elated by moving their body and getting out there and feeling the joy and the pleasure of life and just feeling passionate in their purpose and the career that they're in. And these are two contrasting experiences that are occurring in the exact same physical environment, at the exact same moment, at the exact same day, in the exact same here and now. And so one person is being consumed by an inner world that is not that present moment, that is not that current experience, that is a positive one. And one person is being consumed by past experiences and by an internal world that feels more shadow-based. So it is really about the internal paradigm within us that either allows us to fully take the present moment in. Remember, person B who was experiencing the nature fully, they had still an internal experience and paradigm that had nothing to do with the nature, but it was in a state of connection with it and therefore allowing that present moment to add to their internal experience and enhance it and become fully a part of it, whereas the other person wasn't able to receive the current experience and was blocking it because of their internal paradigm that was in the programming within them at that moment in time. The reason that I'm bringing this up when it comes to feeling lost in life is because there is so many things that every single person on this planet would be able to take in and experience no matter where they are, that would feel a lot more like joy and would feel a lot more like pleasure and would feel a lot more like living in a sense of passion and purpose with their environment and a state of connectivity. But the factor that disallows people to do that and keeps them outside of the present moment of these experiences of pleasure that they do have access to is because of their internal trauma, is because of their internal world, is because of their inability to deal with their internal world, address their internal world, shift their internal world. When we have heavy trauma in our system or any form of trauma in our system, and we are going to debunk the word trauma. Trauma is not just extreme forms of PTSD. Trauma is experiences of extreme emotional distress that every human has experienced in their life and then converts to be stored in the body. And we can call this trauma because this extreme emotional distress hasn't gone anywhere. They've stored it in their body and they've kept it with them. And it now influences their day-to-day experience because when they're walking through a forest, they may not be experiencing the forest, they are experiencing trauma. They're experiencing these emotional signatures that were never properly processed, but are always accessibly inherently in their face, in their environment. It's inside of them and it is influencing their day-to-day experiences. Even though they have moved on from the past, they're not currently being affected by the past from the outside world. The inside world is still bringing that into their environment every single day. The number one thing that we have to do to be able to live a sense of joy, a sense of purpose, and a sense of passion in our life is to work through this trauma. And I'm going to put a link in the description below that is going to list out a bunch of different videos where I talk on how to do this, and it's a lot more simple and less daunting than it sounds. The more extreme forms of healing are a lot more complex. There's lots of different simple fixes that is accessible to everybody. So one of the reasons that most people are feeling lost is because they do not have an awareness that the biggest thing that is influencing their day-to-day life and how they are feeling is not that car they can't afford, and it's not necessarily the different troubles in their life, because guess what? On top of that, what they are capable of doing about those troubles and how they're able to get out of those situations and what they could be doing differently instead is also coming down to that internal software. So they are blaming the physical world. They're saying that it's that relationship that isn't working out the way that I wanted to that's wrong. It's that career that I feel like is my only option that's wrong. And they're not taking their life into their own hands, into their own free will, and into their own responsibility because they feel like there's nothing they can do about it. And the reason they feel like there's nothing they can do about it, and the reason that they can't perceive a paradigm where there's something that they can do about it, is because they are unaware of how to deal with this internal software called our emotional system that influences our mind, that influences every single thing that we are responding to in the physical environment and how we feel about it. And we actually have the free will and power on a day-to-day basis to work with that internal system so that we can have a different internal experience. And that different internal experience can influence the physical experience all around us. Another thing that people are missing is I literally can't be happy until I get that girlfriend that I've been trying to manifest. I literally can't be happy, and I won't be happy until I make more money, until I get a different career, until I this. We're focusing on these big, massive life goals because our future self is communicating to us that through those bigger goals and through those bigger things, that this is how good life could actually feel, and it's what's kind of keeping us going. And it's not that the universe doesn't want you to have these desires or to support you in these larger desires, but you're missing the point of life. Because life is not about these bigger desires or this end game. It is about the journey to these desires. It is about every moment in between experiencing these desires, finally getting these desires, and all the little simple pleasures and joys and passion and purpose that life has to offer every single day, whether you have those bigger things or not. Some of the most pleasureful experiences on this planet are things that everybody has access to and are completely free, like being touched in a certain way, like being in a natural body of water, like having sunlight on your skin, or seeing animals or nature, or running around or playing a game with people, or doing something that makes you feel like you're flying, like riding a bike or running, whatever it is that really floats your boat. But there are so many simple pleasures that we could be creating in our life that we just aren't. And we aren't motivated to get those bigger things because we think life is just gonna be crap and a lot of hard work until I XYZ. But we need to see that even though the overall storm hasn't yet passed of whatever it is you're trying to get away from and towards, you can still learn how to dance in the rain. You can still learn how to enjoy life and connect to life every single day in a million ways that are on the same frequency match to those greater things that you want. And the basic foundation of what you want and what you desire have needs inherent within them that you're not seeing, that's really what you need. That's really what you're desperate for. For example, somebody who's like, I want to be able to own a car and get around easier. They're maybe actually seeing that car as not only a way to experience freedom, but also a way to get connection with people. And they're seeing like, oh, maybe, there's lots of people who see money, that see wealth, that see different forms of freedom, like owning a car, as a way to actually get connection. And it's not actually really, at the end of the day, about owning the car. It's about feeling more free, getting to have certain experiences and connection. Whereas that same person could potentially already get into different environments that make them feel free, that make them feel like they're flying, and they could also already potentially be a match to these people that they're wanting without the car before they get the car. And it's not to say that the car won't make it easier, and it's not to say that they don't deserve the car. It's that there are so many needs that we have that are inherent in those bigger experiences that we could meet for ourselves, that we aren't meeting for ourselves, that we won't face, that we have these needs, that we can meet these needs. There are so many more simple needs, smaller needs, yet larger needs at the same time, the people are not meeting for themselves on a daily basis that is making their life feel the way that it is. And it is every element and every aspect of their life, of their priorities, of their daily decisions, of their daily choices, of where their daily free will is going, that is also lacking the needs that they're not meeting for themselves, and that they aren't letting themselves experience the simple pleasure of taking a bath and feeling like it's your entire universe in that present moment. They aren't experiencing running around and laughing like a kid. They aren't experiencing making silly jokes or dancing in their body. The most simple things on this planet are free, and the most beautiful, nourishing, deepest needs are free. And it has nothing to do with money, and it has not necessarily anything to do with your status or what you look like. There are experiences that are available to every human being on this planet. We just don't believe that we can have these experiences, and we're not creating them with our own free will. And that comes down to this internal paradigm of the trauma that we are not facing. So there is a marriage between writing this huge, massive list of the things that make you feel good, that make you feel a sense of passion and joy and purpose and feeling like you're in your body, like listening to music that makes you feel good, or dancing or playing games or being silly or watching things that make you laugh, or connecting with someone and getting hugs and cuddles that you're not letting yourself experience more fully. And there's this endless list of needs that you're not meeting for yourself. And we need to start designing our life to live in the here and now more fully, in a way that feels better and better, no matter the things that we're currently struggling with that suck, that are hard, that are daunting, and no matter the things that we want for our future that we're still moving towards. No one's taking that away from you. But we need to start finding a way to come back to the present moment each day and finding small moments of joy and freedom and laughter and feeling good in our body and full of pleasure, and to make that easier and to get more of that and to be somebody who can get even more of those small moments, those simple pleasures, and just connecting to the simple basic elements of life that anybody can access no matter where they are in their life, is to work on your state of feeling, your emotional body, and your internal world. And it is my vision for humanity to find this marriage within them and to actualize their own free will and their empowerment and to step in their truth, because we are capable to so much more than you give ourselves credit for. And there are so much more joy, pleasure, and feel-good moments accessible to you in your life, in the present moment, in the right here and now. And I want to set you free. So please, please, please do something to make yourself smile today. And I love you.
Desire as he runs the race. Half light, the moon is always knowing.